What's up, ladies? Welcome back to another Modest K video where we walk, talk, and dress with intention. And I'm your host today, Modest K. Today I want to give you 5 ways to protect your peace. Let's get into it. Number one way to protect your peace is to stop over explaining yourself. This is something I have struggled with as well. So one thing is, over explaining is something that we do to be understood by someone who already decided not to understand us. So sometimes when you feel like you need to explain, it's because you're like, okay, I want this person to understand where I'm coming from. But we have to realize that person already decided that they don't want to understand where you're coming from. That person already made up in their mind what the situation is and who you are when it comes to that situation, if that makes sense. So one thing that over explaining does not do, it does not make you feel better. It pulls from your confidence, and that's one thing we definitely want to stop doing, because it does not help with peace. It does not help build our peace. If anything, it snatches and takes away from your peace. So over explaining it comes from a place of just of consistently being misunderstood, and you want to not offend anyone. But when you over explain to someone that already decided who you are or already decided what the situation is, it's just pulling more away from you, because that person probably doesn't even care. That person choosing to not even care anyway. So you over explaining is just literally pulling your peace, and that is what we're not doing anymore. A way to help with that: say your decision calm, clear, no essay. Right? Calm, clear, no essay. When you know who you are, you do not need to over explain it, but try to shorten your responses. Meaning, like, just say, that doesn't work for me. If somebody gives you an option, or if they say this is what it is, that does not work for me. And it doesn't mean that you're being difficult. It doesn't mean that you're making things harder, you know. It means that you're saying it calm, clear, no essay. When people start to over explain themselves, sometimes you start to get a little worked up, because it's like, you're not listening to me, right? But that person already decided. So it's like, the best thing to do is to stay calm, stay clear, don't over explain. Sometimes people over explain because they don't want to come off mean. They don't want to come off, oh, I don't want to just say that because then they're going to think I don't care. No. That's you trying to be a people pleaser. And having to explain yourself to so many people is very, very exhausting. So speaking from a person who feels like she always has to explain herself, because from trauma past my childhood, people always took offense to what I said. And even when I barely knew how to talk, people always took offense of just me being there, just me being me, you know. So I always felt like I need to over explain, so I kind of know where it comes from. So over explaining, that's not a problem. If someone does feel like, oh, you're coming off like you don't care, that sounds like a personal problem. I do care, but that just doesn't work for me, or that's just not what I'm okay with. One thing I love about Christ is Christ was never afraid to he was never afraid to tell people, listen, I said what I said, right? And it's just like, can you just stop speaking in parables? Can you just say what you mean? And Christ made it clear, my sheep know my voice. I don't have to over explain, and I will not over explain. And if he didn't have to over explain, you don't either. Ask yourself, am I explaining, or am I seeking approval? Am I seeking this person's approval? Am I trying to get this person to like me and things like that? And that's how you know you're not operating in peace. You're operating in people pleasing. You're trying to get this person to like you, or get this person to see your point of view. People are going to like you, or they won't. People are going to see your point of view, or they won't. Number 2, choose silence over reaction. I like to look at it as that your reactions are expensive. Your silence is an investment. When triggered or upset, pause for 10 seconds and breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my reaction, or is my silence a better response? don't always have to respond so quickly. And there is no response police, a person who's going to say, oh, you need to hurry up and respond. Oh, you can. No. Take 10 seconds, right? Breathe, right? Then respond. Respond when you're in a good headspace, when you can afford it, because reactions are expensive and silence are investments. If there is a situation where someone is pushing you to react and respond quickly, remove yourself. You should never be pressured into responding to something that you're not ready for, because you have to understand, when you say yes to something you're not ready for, that is not on the other person, that is on you, because you are old enough to know what is okay for you, and you should be mature enough to say, hey, I need a second with this. And if somebody say, yo, you need to answer now, hey, can you just answer now? No, I need a second with this. And the reason why is because whatever I decide to do is on me. Whatever happens out of this outcome, it's on me. You know, it's okay to remove yourself. It's okay to, if someone else feels uncomfortable, that's a personal problem. That's one thing we have to remember. That is a personal problem. The decisions that you choose to make, the life that you choose to live, that's on you. But someone else feeling uncomfortable, you cannot fix that, right? That's their personal problem. Sometimes we think if we be silent, we're being weak. No, that's strength. That is strength that can't be brought at all. Silence is not weakness. It's a form of emotional discipline. Silence is not a form of surrendering, right? It's a form of saying, hey, I will not participate in this chaos no more. I will not keep living my life chaotically, right? Silence, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, since I've been actually taking a second and thinking before everything, and I've been praying before everything, I'm learning to, right? Things has been better. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything. Physically, it's been better because I'm not letting people reactions and emotions dictate the way that I'm living my life anymore. It's based on, because I have to live with those decisions, right? So the best thing to do, take a deep breath, tell that person I'll get back to you, tell that person give me a second, or if you wanna just not explain but say it, listen, I gotta pray about this, you know? You do what you gotta do for you. All right, ladies, another way to protect your peace is to not entertain confusion from others, from men, from people. If some words and some actions don't match, believe the actions always. One thing about us as people, our actions will always speak loudly than the words that we say. And sometimes us as women, well, he said this, well, they said this. No, actions, because actions are patterns, right? And patterns are something that we do. We as people, we move in patterns, believe it or not. And the best thing to do is to believe that rather than believe something that somebody say. Because sometimes us as people, we say things because we really want it to be true, right? But it ain't. And that's not on you or them. Sometimes we say things and we meant it in the moment, right? But our actions show something different. And the best thing for you to protect your peace, believe the actions always. Stop trying to decode signals. What they said is what they said. What they did is what they did. Who they are is who they are. And when you do all these things, when you try to, well, they said this, but they showed me this, what they said, but then they said this. No. What they said is what they said. What they did is what they did. Who they are is who they are. That's it, okay? When you start to put in these ifs, ands, and buts and things, it's just gonna cause confusion. You're lying to yourself. You're gonna go over and over in your head. It's gonna start eating at you. And one thing we forget is that when we start messing with our brains and start lying to ourselves, it start eating at our confidence, start eating at our self-worth, start eating at it start eating us from the inside out. And one thing, I'm a big person on accountability. You can't blame that person because they're just being who they are, right? You are lying to yourself. When they're showing you who they are, you're lying to yourself. That's not on them. That's you, right? And because you didn't act accordingly when you seen the situation happen, when they said what they said, did what they did, because you didn't move differently, you can't get mad at them because you seen it. They said it, and you chose to believe a lie. You chose to move and be like, it's okay, when it wasn't. So the best thing to do is when somebody say something, that's what they said. When somebody do something, that's what they did. When somebody move a certain way, that's who they are. And the best thing for us not to do is to try to decode it, try to look deeper. There's no deeper. It is what it is. The best thing to do when things are so confusing with a certain person or with a certain situation, the best thing to do is to remove yourself. Take a step back or remove yourself completely. I'm not a big person on cutting people off, but it depends. Sometimes it does depend. It depends on how much is this person eating at your self-esteem. How much is this person belittling you? Is this person abusive? Things like that. That's when you remove yourself, right? If this person, I believe in boundaries and not cutting people off when that person is not questioning who you are, right? If you can have a conversation with that person and you're not questioning who you are and you're not questioning yourself, confusion, then you can set boundaries with that person. But that person is making you question who you are all the time, putting confusion in your life consistently. Sometimes it is okay to, and to set long distance love or long distance boundaries. It's okay. When you talk to this person, you always feel anxious, annoyed, frustrated, bothered, all those things. After you done hanged out with them, went out with them, spent time with them, even just had a conversation with them, if you always feel drained, like spiritually or just mentally, physically drained and things, that's confusion. And life is hard, right? And I'm gonna just say this just how it is. The devil is the author of confusion. He's a person who loves confusion. Whenever you're confused, anxious, annoyed, out of the spirit, he loves that. And anyone who, some people don't even know, right? Some people don't know, but anyone who's playing around with those things and playing around and with the work of confusion, it's best to remove yourself, because it's best to remove yourself. It's not gonna do nothing but just eat at you mentally. Do not romanticize potential. One thing that we do as ladies, and that is what causes severe confusion in our lives. When we see a man and we love him, or we just love the way that he is, we say, I can see that he can be something good. But is he good right there? I can see that he'll treat me right one day. But is he treating you right now? Is he treating you right now? I can see that one day he'll be a man of God. Is he a man of God right now? I can see that if I just believe really, really hard, that one day, no. I get it. I've been there as well. No. Do not romanticize the potential you see in a man or just in a person, in a friend, because I've been there as well. Oh, she's just so sweet. Like, I love her. Like, I just love her personality. But she always compares herself to me. But she always says that my dark skin isn't really pretty. But she always says that I need to do better with my makeup. But she's so nice. No. A friend that's always comparing themselves to you, a friend that's always putting you down, is confusion. It's going to confuse you of who you are. A man who is not a man of God, but okay, I'll pray with you. Okay, I'll read with you. Confusion. which is okay. People are still trying to figure themselves out. When you don't know who you are, you're trying to figure it out, that's fine. But if you know who you are, or if you still trying to figure yourself out, one thing you don't need in life is confusion. We don't really need that, you know? And it does make things harder mentally and emotionally. And if you're a woman of faith spiritually, it will make things harder for you spiritually. Number 4, prioritize your mental space. Your mind is a house. Not everybody deserves a key. Limited who gets daily access to you. This is not just with people. This is also during social media. This is also during the TV. This is also with family members. This is also with men, women, children, everybody. Limit who gets daily access to you. Is remodel your social media into being the way you want to think. And one thing that my social media is, my Instagram and Facebook, is faith-based. So every time I'm scrolling, it's something about God. It's always something about God. So I'm always thinking about God. And I don't scroll too much, but if I do hop on Instagram or Facebook, it's always something about God. It's always something about how to better yourself mentally, or how to improve inside, you know? So remodel your social media, remodel your walls, or your things that you see consistently. Remodel it into the way that you want to think. And one thing I have on my wall, for example, I have the Proverbs 31 scriptures. Proverbs, it starts at 31 to, then you got 31:11, 31:12, 31:20, all the way to 31:30, 31. It's just a bunch of them, and it just talks about Proverbs 31 women, the woman of Proverbs 31. And then I also have be merciful scriptures, and then I also have these give me motivation as well. I have my kids' art up there that makes me happy. I also have these little I don't know what they call it, but it says everything's fine. And I also have these sticky note wall where I put sticky notes at of things that I need to remember. Like, the best thing to do is to remodel things that you see consistently into the way that you want to think, right? Because if you don't really have those things, your mind kind of wanders, and you kind of just may think about negative things, because sometimes things can get real negative. And the best thing to do, right, when things get hard, I look over, everything's fine. And even though I'm not seeing it, I see it. And my brain is taking it in, which means that I will start to say that, right? Because that is something I say when things does get hard for me. Everything's fine. It'll work out, you know? So the best thing to do, one thing you can do, remodel your, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it goes with it. Remodel your surroundings, your social media, things that you see consistently. Remodel it into the way that you want to think. Number 5, stay rooted in the way that you value yourself. This is about who you decide to be every day. One way to stay rooted in yourself and the way that you value yourself is to write down at least 5 non-negotiables about you. Ask yourself, how am I going to stand on me? What are some things that I'm not negotiating? I'm not negotiating no more. I'm not, no. Write down 5 of them, or as many as you need to, right? And stand on them. Stand on them about you. Say, I'm worthy enough of this. I'm strong. I deserve this. One thing life can do, it can get so hard that it can make us start lowering our standards, lowering our self-worth, lowering our values, the way we value ourselves. And I'm here to tell you, no, stand on those standards. Keep your self-worth and know that you are enough. Know that what you want for you and who you are, and knowing that you want to be the best you that you can be, right? You want to wake up one day and be like, yeah, I'm here, I love me, but I know I could have done better. I know I should have done better. I know I would have done better, No, do better now. Value yourself now. right? Know your worth now. Stand on it. You know, stand on it. And it's because you want to look in the mirror one day and you want to say, I am proud of me. I am proud of the standards I've set for myself, and I don't apologize. I'm not apologizing for it. And the standards I have set for myself, you want to see them, right? And you deserve to be loved the way that you want to be loved, the way that you want to be loved. You deserve to be the boss one day that you want to be. You deserve to have the land and the millions of dollars that you want to have. Stand on you. Stand on the person you want to be. What you can do is to place it somewhere where you can say it over and over and over. The way that you value yourself, your standards, is to don't break it. Do not break your standards when you're lonely, or when you're seeking affection, or when you're seeking love and comfort. One thing that we women do whenever we're sad, lonely, or feel like, well, you know, if I just text him or something like that, or I know he'll come through for me, I know we can just hang out, we're friends. Y'all are not friends. Stop lying to yourself. Yeah, he'll come through and it won't end well. Just stop, okay? Do not break your standards out of loneliness. When you cut him off and stand on it. When you say, look, I deserve better, stand on it. Do not break those, because you will continue to feel lower than you actually are. And you don't want to keep thinking like, making these promises to yourself and breaking them. It will start to eat at your self-worth and how you love yourself and feel for yourself, and then you'll start accepting anything, and we don't just accept anything over here. That's it for this video. I pray and I hope that this helps you protect your peace in life, because sometimes it can get chaotic, but one thing we love is peace. That's it for this video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know down below some ways that you protect your peace. Give us some tips on how we can manage peace better. Don't forget, you are loved. God loves you, and I love you. Bye.